Hey everyone, Brian Zane here, and I am back with my very first mailbag video since I moved to my new house. Yes, I do feel terrible that it's taken me this long to finally get around to it, but you know how moves go. As you can see, I got a fair amount of items here, both in the envelope and the package variety sent to me by a lot of great fans. And I know a lot of you have been waiting a long time for me to open these on camera, so I will finally get to that. First off, a lovely postcard showing the Grand Forks Valley in British Columbia, although there is no name attached to this postcard, so I have no idea who it's from. Thank you though. Speaking of Canada, here's my first package of the day from Sina, also in British Columbia. Maybe there's a connection between that and this. Oh, okay, interesting. A leather-bound book of some kind. Whoa! It's a collector's album for classic WWF wrestling cards. Get a look at this. Oh wow, these are great. These cards are all from the classic line, and they all look in great shape. This is really well taken care of. I mean, I'd have to double check and see how complete this all is, but it looks pretty darn complete. It's got all the numbers all the way up to card 150. That's a Duff the Road, Daddy. Thank you so much for sending this to me, Sina. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, but this is really cool. It said in your note you've had this collection since childhood, and man, you've taken some good care of this. Back to the letters we go. We've got Sean from Merrillville, Indiana, back once again with his doodles. He asks me if I've ever found myself in a situation where I was sort of disinterested in watching wrestling. Let me tell you something. I think the biggest change, the most positive change I've made to my life in the last like 6 months or so to help avoid YouTuber burnout is not having to review the shows like Raw, SmackDown, and NXT and AEW every week. Not just reviewing it because, oh, I gotta put something on the channel. But the more I kind of take myself away from the analytic part of it and just get to watch it again as a fan, it's definitely helped. All right, continuing our look through the mailbag, this one comes to us from Glasgow, Scotland, meaning it's Royal Mail. Oh, awesome. Okay, cool. These guys have been in touch with me for a while. These are wrestling-themed football jerseys. Wrestlingvintage.com. Okay, so get a load of this. This is the Undertaker version of the Wrestling Vintage football jerseys, and I love how this thing feels on me. I love the material. The fit is great, and the layout, the design is awesome as well. So thumbs up for me on this one. And here for your viewing pleasure is the Roddy Piper version. All right, got a lot of mail here from Daniel over in Burton, Michigan. Sorry it took me so long to answer your cards here. You sent me 4 of them in the last several months, so let's just go through them. Oh, it's a little kitty cat with some yarn. In this card, he writes about Vincent Mann retiring over the summer. He says that Vince has done a lot in WWE, however, the product has been bad for the past few years. That's a bit of an understatement. I will always be a WCW fan too, but I still enjoy my wrestling. Thank you! The wrestling world is crazy nowadays. Triple H is improving all of the programs in WWE. That is true. All Out is too long. That is also true. The fight with CM Punk and the Bucks should have been handled better. Also true. Too much chaos, just like wrestling. Don't be a dick, as you say. And that is also true. I do say don't be a dick. Now we move on to this package from, I want to say it's Jamin or Jamin from Lexington, Kentucky. My apologies if I got the pronunciation wrong. What? Is this what I think it is? Is this? It's Sting! It's a Sting felt top hat, 1996, tag still on it. This is about as good condition as you're gonna get, and you better believe I'm putting this bad boy on. Okay, I have tilted the camera up now so you can get a better look at this hat. Just like Jake Hager says, I love this hat. And do my eyes deceive me, or is this another Maccabia Mania t-shirt? Hell yeah, I can never get enough of these. Thank you for making great content over many years. I love all the moments we forgot and all the new moments I learned about from your show. Never knew about Maccabia Mania until I watched your video on it. I recently came across some t-shirts from that event and would like to give you one. Thank you. Always need more for my collection. Well, thank you very much, Jamin. If you watching this want to get some awesome wrestling merchandise of your own, like this hat or this shirt, you can go to his Instagram page at 859_finds. All right, our last letter of the day comes from Rat and Bee Gifts from Dayton, Ohio. Thank you for the hours of entertainment you've given us. I'd like to share with you the wrestling stickers we sell on our Etsy page. That's Rat of Rat and Bee Crafts. We've got a Bullet Club sticker here, some guy with a Bullet Club shirt. Oh, a Willow Nightingale sticker. That's pretty cool. And look at these Quinn McKay stickers. That's fun. I love Quinn McKay. So glad to see her doing well with NXT Level Up, and I'm really excited to see what the future holds for her. And look at the inside of the card. It looks like a little artwork of me as Jim Cornette. Thank you very much. And this package here comes to us from our good friend Roland over in Norwich, Connecticut. He is a frequent sender of stuff here in the mailbag, so we'll see see what he's got this time. So our first shirt here is not just a Bullet Club shirt, but it is also a Bone Soldier shirt. Of course, Bone Soldier is a subsidiary of the Bullet Club. All right, I also got a shirt for the Angry Video Game Nerd. Of course, one of my biggest influences as a content creator over the years. Oh man, another Insane Clown Posse wristband. I really can't get enough of these, thank you. This is the Riddle box. This is pretty funny. I didn't know they did this. A Twisted Metal ice cream scoop. Now, I know I've seen some weird merchandise for various properties over the years, but I never thought I would see a Sweet Tooth branded ice cream scooper from the folks at Twisted Metal. Oh, and this is great. Some Bob's Burgers merchandise here, a Bob's Burgers trivia book, and the Bob's Burger Burger Box. I'm not sure what this is. This kind of reminds me, I actually own the Bob's Burgers cookbook, which is a separate thing from this, and somebody, this might be the same thing in fact, somebody took like recipes based on the burgers that were on the burger of the day and turned it into a book and made some legitimate recipes out of it. So this might be an extension of it or it might be the same thing, but either way, it's really cool. Thank you so much for sending me this stuff. Roland's got a couple of questions here too in this letter. He asks about, what's written here is the Bob's Burger movie trailer. Obviously the movie has come out since he sent this package. Again, my apologies. But as far as the Bob's Burgers movie, I did see that in theaters and I loved it. I think if you're a Bob's Burgers fan, like you're gonna kind of just enjoy most of what's thrown your way from that franchise. And I think the movie was really well done, had a lot of heart. I loved, you could tell, oh, they had some money for this one because the animation feels a whole lot different and more fluid, and there's shading now. It looks more three-dimensional. Finally, ask about the Chip and Dale movie. Did I find the movie to be weird? Yes, but I also liked the weird they had. I mean, it's kind of a spiritual successor to Who Framed Roger Rabbit in terms of like, it's all these different worlds and animation. The animation working with the live action. Oh my, Aaron from York, South Carolina, what have you brought me here? This thing weighs a ton. It also has a fragile label on it. I cannot even fathom a guess as to what's inside. Here we go, absolutely everything you need to know about WWE. My oldest kid, she is starting to watch more wrestling with me. She has a lot of questions and stuff about people. I'd love to get her into this book, and she's of course a very avid reader. Oh wow, a book about SmackDown, 20 years and counting, forward by The Undertaker. These pages collect every match, every moment, and every superstar who has dared to make history on their journey to immortality. Rest in peace. I love opening the page right with this big ass quote from Kurt Angle. Definitely aimed more toward younger readers or people who really want a primer on, you know, what WWE was like on SmackDown during this time, some of the more pivotal, memorable moments. This is a pretty cool resource here. I totally forgot about this. JBL won the first ever SmackDown Championship, and then it was no longer necessary because that was when Batista moved over. I totally forgot about that. And then we have ourselves here another book called Greatest Rivalries, another kind of resource about some of the biggest storylines and rivalries they've had in WWE history. Wrapping things up with a stack of trading cards. This one is a bunch of old WCW cards from the early 90s. Then there's this series of Topps trading cards. Some very holographic finishes on them. Those look very pretty and shiny. And then one random card from the Nitro trading card game. This is a move card, the 450 Splash, photographed a picture of a man who didn't ever do the 450 Splash, and Hugh Morris. And finally rounding things out with a couple of classic DVD sets. Thanks, Aaron. And with that, that is the end of my Reno mail, but the story does not end there because I went to my P.O. box in Springfield recently and got this stuff sent to me, and I can't wait to show you guys what I got. This postcard, which features the cover of a Dark Horse Comics version of a Star Wars story they were telling in 2000. This comes to us from Trevor in Chicago, and he asks, after hearing my rendition of Me and Mrs. Jones in my 605 The Reunion video, he's asking, who are my favorite soul and R&B artists? Well, obviously, Billy Paul, the singer of Me and Mrs. Jones, is one of them. I love me some Luther Vandross. I like Lionel Richie. His stuff with the Commodores I really like. I'm a big fan of guys like Marvin Gaye and Bobby Caldwell and the Isley Brothers as well. Isaac Hayes. That's just kind of like a brief makeup of the stuff I like in that soul R&B department. Definitely a big fan of like the 70s and 80s. Soul, funk, that kind of sound is something I'm really into. And finally, this last package comes to us from Ryan in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Oh man, what a cool concept for a book this is. This is volume 1 of Amazing Classic Wrestling Newspaper Ads and Clippings by Ryan McCain over here. He sent me a letter saying, I've been collecting these old wrestling newspaper ads and clippings for quite some time and finally decided to put them in a book and thought you guys might enjoy the final product. Wow, you did a great job putting all these together, and it really runs the gamut of a lot of different stars and eras, a lot of familiar names in here. Oh, there's Jim Barnett, and there's, oh hey, Buddy Rose and Stan Stasiak for the PNW Championship I just turned to. I'm always a sucker for the old kind of like ads and stuff that you see in the articles back when newspapers used to write articles about professional wrestling, not always in a derogatory kind of way. I don't know where this would be available. I'm hoping maybe on Amazon or something, but yes, this is great. Good job with this, and I can't wait to see the future volumes. Well, thank you all so much to the amazing fans who sent me some amazing merchandise for the last several months that I've been putting off until opening until right now. Once again, I'm so sorry it took so long to get to some of these, but you know, moving's hard. That's all I can really say about it. If you guys want to help send some more stuff this way that I can open and read on camera for you in future installments, send it to the new P.O. Box. That's Brian Zane at 1863 Pioneer Parkway East, number 455, Springfield, Oregon 97477. Thanks once again to all you who sent some amazing stuff my way. I'm going to call these housewarming gifts. I'm definitely going to wear this hat in public a lot more than I probably should. I'm Brian Zane, and I'll see you at the next mailbag.